get right into it.
Let's go. My sheet seems off.
I still think it's weird that you sit over on that side and I'm over here.
I'm tired.
It's too late now. We can't change it.
If we go back that way, we will. If we spin this around, that's all that happened.
Thanks a lot, Ferg. Hey, we are not canceled.
No.
We're back on the Falcons corner, voice of the Falcons.
So like shows go into
The guy to know, SID.
like hiatus, like so like
Sick information director.
yeah,
Ferg.
knocked out the department.
Unexpected hiatus last week.
Right,
you know?
well that's what happened. So we could have ran a rerun, but we didn't do that. We want them to run more.
We get the real
and
stuff.
like sweeps month is usually in March. Well,
Right.
at least it used to be when TV was not
We're leading
what
up
it
to
is
that.
now.
Right, yeah.
But no, I think a well-deserved break for a little bit.
Sure.
It wasn't for a lack of effort.
I miss sitting next to you.
Yeah, I missed seeing you too.
Well, I saw you, though.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Do I look terrible for the back of the show? Do I look like I woke up at 5:15 the day after the Super Bowl?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I was gonna say, why
I
were you
do.
up at 5:15?
Well, because I had to come to work at 5:45
Oh,
the
lifting.
day after Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
early
And you're-
morning.
Early
huh?
morning.
Early morning workout.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting up and doing a workout that early, but like,
You just stayed in bed. You were
well,
smart.
not
Well, you
only that.
didn't.
No, I was talking to Amanda, and like we were looking at like a couple years ago, I was doing hot yoga,
Okay.
and because it really just kind of helped with like some swelling I had,
Right.
and like mobility, and I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then like the early ones that this body can handle are at like 6, where the ones where it's a little more intense with like Pilates component.
A little bit. We
is
need to wake
more
up
in
for
my-
those.
Is more in my like time frame. However, this body is not in that frame of workout, and I
Right.
might drop dead.
Yeah.
So
All right,
that's
well.
just it. But 6 early morning workouts.
Yes. So, all right.
Getting at it.
So, yeah, I'm tired.
All right.
But it's all right. I'm going to survive.
Yeah, but you look good.
I'm going to dig deep.
You look good.
Well, that's good to know,
That's
I guess.
it.
Yes.
Was everybody energized after the Super Bowl?
The energy was just off the charts today, Ferg. It was great. All right, so let's keep continuing on with our winter sports. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I was not at our games last week. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired. So,
Really?
who wants to talk?
You really don't know what's going on?
Well, we played a game when I
we had a
wasn't here.
doubleheader on
We had a
Tuesday.
doubleheader on Tuesday.
against
I wasn't
Mercer.
here.
Doubleheader sweep.
Right, when we did win, yes, because I was getting updates. That's when all the bad stuff happened, Monday
Right.
and Tuesday.
So we did. We could start with the women,
Sure.
because then we can roll
Let's
into
do
a
that.
few things.
Absolutely.
So the women they had a little bit of their own timeout due to a postponement of a game
Right.
from the previous Saturday, but they were back at it and they had a nice win over Mercer.
Yep.
Mercer gave us everything.
But a region win's a region win, right?
It is, and it'll I think keeps us in third position.
Right.
For the playoffs right now. A little bit back and forth. I
Right.
think at their place it was a 1-point game back in November, and it was tough. I mean, we did our parts, and we let them back in the game. But I don't know her name. Number 33 from Mercer had 33 points. I mean, she was just in nothing against our team.
Right.
She was just one of the better players that I've seen in our gym this year.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I mean,
Are they postseason bound, Mercer?
they are the 5th seed right now, but
Okay.
they are over 500.
Right.
So they will be playing Raritan. The way it shakes out right now, it
Raritan,
can still
the 4-5.
change. It'll be at Raritan in a 4-5
Okay.
matchup.
Right.
So-
So, and for not to take them lightly, they haven't had a program I think in 2 or 3 years.
Right,
and then to come back out this year, it's nice so that our girls have 2 more games in conference.
Of course.
And, kind of gearing up towards, being the host for the region championships. Settling in at that 3 seed is a nice spot to be in.
But Solote had a 20 points and 20 rebounds again.
Right,
Another
yeah.
big game for her. E'ternity Aiken played well again.
She did.
Scoring
Yeah.
18 points off the bench. Had a good game. Desi White had 21 points, I think it was. So she kind of had herself a game, and we did the things we needed to do down the stretch to pull away for the win.
Yeah, with all those points scored, there's not a lot of defense being played, by the way.
Wow.
So it makes for entertaining basketball in terms of you want to see the scoring and this and that. But it also kind of makes you nervous at points in time where you're like, all right, can we get a stop?
Yeah.
And
And then the men had a big win that night because that kind of guarantees them postseason berth, right?
Speaking of no defense being played,
Yeah.
that was a game where it was
just a shootout.
lights out shooting.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. How many timeouts did Coach Fallon call in that game? Did he use up his whole allotment of timeouts? Or did
I don't think he did.
That was the game he could have, though.
And we were up 20 and then up 5.
Right.
And then up 23, and then I think we won by 5 or so. It got, but that wasn't as close and tense when it got down to the 5-point game as it was initially to start the second half, where we didn't really do anything different. We weren't hitting.
Well, sometimes ball doesn't go in the basket.
And it doesn't. And I know we joke on our own with Coach, but they and there wasn't really many turnover. I think there weren't total team turnovers. There were some.
Right.
And then now those were addressed.
Okay.
And I mean, Mercer just wasn't missing all of a sudden, and they weren't missing from long range again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they kind of got back in, and then just like that, it went back up to 17. And then I think it was up to 20 again. With about 2.5 minutes left, Coach Fallon kind of got some of the guys who don't get as much time in the game,
which is good.
It was good for them.
Yep.
I'm sitting there thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and then it's dwindling, and then what are you doing? And then dwindling, and then still what are you doing? And I even said something to him afterwards. We were joking. He's like, yeah, we got away, and he got some playing time. So I appreciate that.
Good.
But a big win over Mercer. I couldn't tell you last time. I think we swept them in the same season in quite some time. So.
Good.
Yeah,
And like I said, that locks us in postseason. Then they followed that up with a win on the road at Rockland, which looks like a tough. I always say it looks like a tough place to play.
It is.
A lot of room in that gym, a lot of space behind the basket.
We
so it's a
ended
tough
up
place to
shooting
shoot.
about 42%,
Yeah.
but it was still not a great shooting performance for us.
And we made some shots when we had to.
Evan had a tough game after scoring 35 against Mercer and hitting 8 of 11 from downtown.
Right.
He kind of came back down to earth a little bit. Still had 8 assists though.
Right.
Still played well in that sense. Nick had 18. Jairi had another 10 points and 13 rebounds.
Right.
Was big. Steve McCoy came off the bench, had 4 points, had the big block at the end to keep it a 2-point lead for us.
Yeah, they were driving to the basket. That was awesome to see.
So we ground out a victory, and I think Rockland's a decent team.
Right.
You don't play well on the road. Rockland kept fighting to get back into the game, and we did enough down the stretch to win.
It was good back and forth.
Definite home court advantage by playing on that home court.
On that floor.
Yeah.
Like I said, just having such a big
I don't know if it's
building.
rubber. It's not.
I was wondering that.
It looks
watching
like
it.
some of the teams in like Middlesex, I think's floor is similar to that,
Right.
but it just reminds me of like middle school.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
exactly.
where you would eat lunch on that floor, so
old-
it was easy to clean up.
Yeah.
The Dunmore Elementary Center is what
Right,
it makes me
yeah.
think
Do they
of,
still have
you know?
that floor at the Elementary Center?
Yes, they do.
That's unbelievable.
Blue
That's
and red.
fantastic. I played on that bad boy. It was awesome. So, and then now the men are back at home yesterday.
They are. They
Ferg?
are.
Put the results there. We won against Morris.
I hope so.
All right.
Yeah.
Big
We'll
game.
see.
It's a big game.
It was a big game.
Yes.
Yes, was a big
It
game.
was a big game, and we had a time change. Not that it affects anybody viewing now.
No, or coming out.
Yeah.
But are we home again after Morris?
Yes,
Oh,
we
on the
are.
weekend, because I blacked out because I'm not here. I'm in the sunshine.
That's right,
On
on the
on
weekend.
Saturday.
On the 15th, because we've got sophomore day for both men's and
Yeah, we do.
women's basketball coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Are
the
you gonna be able to
men,
handle the announcing of the sophomore stuff?
I think he's got a voice
Yeah,
for
he
certain
might be
I'll
things
find
like
a way
that.
to do it.
Yeah, dig down deep. I'll call you from Miami to give you a pep talk. No, I
But
won't.
before that, we do play Sussex on Thursday.
On the road.
On the road,
Okay.
weather permitting. The weather's not looking ideal this week because I hate winter at this point in time. Not that I ever really like it.
No, but
This winter's been tough.
It's been long.
Yeah, cold.
Like we'll joke, but January was like 400 days long.
Yeah.
But we are at Sussex. Scheduled before that
Both men and women?
Saturday. Just the men.
Just the men.
Just the men.
do they stream, Ferg?
I believe they do.
All right, toss that bad boy
think
up there
they
for
do.
everyone.
On their YouTube channel.
Okay.
Sussex, obviously, we played earlier this year in December at home.
Yep.
So getting a nice away game, and that helps us too. depending on what happens against Morris last night, and as we kind of round out, not that we would need to be above 500, but kind of helps us try to maintain that above 500 overall. Gives us an opportunity.
Saturday is, I think,
1-3, Westchester.
Westchester.
Yes.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
The women are playing Salem. That's a Region 19 game.
Correct.
And then the men are playing Westchester.
Yep. So a nice day for our sophomores. So come on out, pay $5, or pay more and listen to Ferg and Steve.
That's
Ferg
it.
and Young.
Yeah. Ferg and Young.
Ferg and Young. Ferg and Young. And then to continue with the winter sport theme, wrestling was at the University of Scranton, and our athlete of the week did pretty well, huh?
Yeah.
Matt Gashy-Brito had a big week. He had 4 wins on the week because they were at Northampton earlier on in the battle for PA, as they labeled it. Fell a little short, and that's really based on just not having all the weight classes right now. I'm hoping that next year we get them. We'll get them to come here.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, Mr. Tucker. We're going to bring you up here. We'll do what John Fox does, hopefully, after year one and rebound. And then Matt went 3-0 against all 4-year schools at the University of Scranton.
Right, and I haven't got a chance to know, to spend a lot of time with him, but he's been a guy that's been at every workout that we've had since, they've been back, and, has been putting a lot of effort and stuff. So I'm glad to see that transfer over to the mat a little bit. Not taking any credit for it, but it's just good to see his work ethic. So it was a well-deserved.
Coach Fox has high praise for him. He came in when he was recruited to come in here. I mean, you have that much talent, and it could be tough. It could go one of 2 ways, knowing that there's not a full team right now, but you're kind of the cornerstone of building that program back to national recognition. And he stuck it through the fall semester, and he was one of the ones when John said we weren't sure if we were going to compete in the fall or not. We need to. We got to get this kid an opportunity, and he picked up some pins over the weekend.
Won all 3 matches at the University of Scranton duels, all by pin. One in 2:20, I think it was, against Kings, and then both in 34 seconds against Utica and against the University of Scranton.
Right.
Good.
And had a major decision victory at Northampton.
Good. Yeah.
So maybe you could talk to him, Ferg.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I'm going to try to talk to E'ternity, too, who we owe an interview with. I also have part of my interview with John Koroma to play as well. So lots to catch up on because of missing last week. So.
Well, are you feeling better, Ferg?
I'm feeling much better.
All right,
yes.
good. All right, beautiful. All right, can we take
I'm feeling good, too.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Ferg. You're okay. I talked to you last week. All right, can we take a break? We're all caught up?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll see if we can get some interviews in, and we'll come back and we'll talk about spring sports.
All right.
Sure.
All right, we'll be back to Falcons Corner. Take flight.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director here at Lackawanna College. We're talking to our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week, John Koroma from Lackawanna College Wrestling on the program. John, appreciate your time. Big weekend for you this past weekend, not being able to compete, had to practice a lot, getting thrown out onto the mat, and you get 6 matches in a day. A little tiring, right? But
definitely.
Managed to make it work. What was it like for you getting out there and finally competing, in matches that count, something that makes a difference?
Well, it was quite, it felt really good coming back on the mat after spending, a lot of time off the mat, just focusing on school and studying and just regaining eligibility. I was kind of winded at the beginning.
I can imagine.
Of the first, couple of matches, but
when you're coming off a layoff like that, do you prefer do you want a match to go three periods, or do you want it to be quick, or what's the...
I was definitely going into every match like, let me get off this mat as quickly as possible.
Let me get a pin. Let me get something, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and you ended up in the first the first 4 or so were decisions, right? Were major decisions or decisions one way or another. So you had to do all 3 rounds. So was there a moment? What match would you say was the moment you were like, okay, I'm starting to feel back in mode here, or something like that?
Probably like the third match, I started to snap back, shake off the dust and realize, okay, yeah, I'm back in this.
Well, especially because that was the consolation, the first consolation one where you're like, oh, this could be over now. So I gotta start actually going for it, right? End up picking up a 5th place win. We talked about it off camera, but it was a good turn in terms of just the number of wrestlers, but also from the different places they came from. I mean, obviously you would have liked to finish higher, but did you come away like, okay, 5th place is a good start for me here?
Honestly, just coming off back onto the mat after that long, it just felt good to come back and compete and, really find good competition, quality competition.
When you're not wrestling or studying or anything like that, you have some free time. Rumor is you're a DJ.
Yeah.
What is your DJ name?
DJ D-Chef.
Okay. Where did that name come from?
Well, originally, actually, another hobby of mine is baking.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
I like to also, bake in my free time.
Okay. So, baking, you're baking up beats, and you're baking up things that people can actually eat as well. Okay. What, as a baker, what's your specialty? What's your go-to?
Oh man, this is like the hardest question ever. It depends. Like, if I want to impress someone, or like, I'll just like have like a really bad sweet tooth.
Okay.
Because if it's like sweet tooth, then cupcakes.
All right.
Like some type of loaded cupcake, like I'm talking Twix bars, like, oh man, coach can't watch this.
Wow.
But if it's not that, then I like to try and, step out of my comfort zone and like whip up like some fancy French like dessert or something. I just really like desserts.
Okay.
Not a fan of cooking actual food, but like desserts always up my alley.
Okay. Wow. All right. Okay.
Key lime pie. Also,
key lime pie?
Huge fan of key lime pie.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that, honestly.
Wow. Okay. So you're baking, and then DJing.
Yeah.
May or may not have had a couple gigs over the winter break. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm telling you, man. Those are the choice ones. They give those to the people they know are going to draw.
Oh yeah.
Again, I came from the world of radio, so it's similar but different. It feels like you kind of have to rely on the crowd, right, to let you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's almost a lot like wrestling, It's like crowd control. Every wrestler is different. Every crowd is different.
Getting a feel for, okay,
get a feel for it.
They're hyped. Let me go with this right now, right?
Yeah.
So you get a dead crowd. How do you kind of break them out of it? Like
the dead crowd, you gotta shock them. If a wrestler's like on his heels, you gotta hit him.
You gotta charge, right?
Yeah.
Coming up in a couple weeks, obviously with the district tournament, what's your goal with that? Obviously you want to get back to nationals, but what's your goal with that, and what are you expecting from yourself or from your teammates?
Just pushing myself as hard as I can to do the best I can. That's always the goal. Just max effort, max push. It's what me and the team, have in mind.
Right. I love it. I could talk to you for a while. You're very interesting. You're good to talk to. I know we've talked probably a little longer than we thought we were going to, but I appreciate your patience. John, thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. John Koroma for Lackawanna College Wrestling. Let's hope we get a couple more W's and some championships in a couple weeks. This is Falcons Corner. Take flight. Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director here at Lackawanna College. We're talking with our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week, E'ternity Aiken from Lackawanna College Women's Basketball, joining us here on the program. E'ternity, thanks so much for hopping on with us here. You guys are in a bit of a lull in the schedule right now, not playing until this coming Saturday, playing last Tuesday. Is this a good timed break, you think, for everybody, as far as like maybe trying to get healthy and a little beat up from the season?
Yeah, couple games we were playing, we're getting pretty beat up bad. So this is like a good like down little break, and yeah, ready. It gives us like more motivation to go back in and play harder too. This little break we have is like, okay, we're ready to play again. So,
right. Big week for you last week, winning Athlete of the Week, career high 24 points in a big win over Raritan, and then even last week against Mercer, scoring 18 points off the bench to help get the win against Mercer. You got 55 points in your last 3 games, where in the previous the rest of the season it was about 60 points total for that. What's going on? What's with the offensive explosion here?
I would say after the Harcum game, going into the Harcum game, my mindset kind of changed. I wanted that game so bad because that is the team I got hurt against last year, so I didn't really get to play them at all. So going into that game, it was just like a different mindset. And then we came up short against them. So then going into Raritan, it was the same mindset. It was like, I'm going in, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And it worked. I didn't think about nothing, it worked. And the game after that too was just like, just playing, just going, time to lock in more as we get closer to the end of the season. You know, more things are on the line now.
Right.
So.
It seems like a lot of the scoring you're getting is when the ball is entry pass, whatever it is, and you're driving to the rim and finishing. How is that kind of what you think your game, what you bring to the game as far as what you think you can bring to the team?
Yeah, offensively, my guards are finding me down low. They're hitting me good entry passes. And then defensively, that's always been my game. So defensively, all the blocks, that's what kind of gets me going. Once I get a block, it's like, yeah. And
it seems like you and Salote have a good kind of understanding on the floor too, as far as spacing and passing and all that.
Yeah. It's blocks. We go block for block. That's how it really looks.
Well, how does it help you as someone who does play down low? How does it help you to have a big like her that can control the game the way she does with her scoring and her rebounding, can also kind of step out as well? How do you feel like that helps you kind of fit in?
It makes it a little more easier for me because last year I was second in the region before I got hurt with rebounding. And then this year to know I got someone that got my back and slugging rebounds, her and her sister Soraya, they're both doing a great job offensively, defensively boards, so that kind of helps my game a little bit more too.
It seems like you guys this year are certainly a little bigger up front, obviously with you returning to the lineup and certainly Salote playing this year than maybe that was last year. Do you feel like the front court is certainly stronger this year for the team?
Definitely. We're just like a stronger team when it comes to mindset, abilities to play together. We just came into the season knowing we were going to win, and that's just how we carried it.
Couple big region wins recently against Mercer at home. It was not an easy game, obviously, but you guys were able to come out with the win. Same thing with the Raritan one, though. It has to feel good from the team mindset to be able to play as poorly, or not poorly, but play a tough, tight game that and still come out with a win.
Even when we were down, it's so funny. Even when we were down both games, we were like, we're gonna win. Like we didn't beat each other up. We didn't come down on anybody. We just picked ourselves up. We was like, we're gonna win. We was smiling. If anything, when we were down, we were laughing and smiling. So we just know we're gonna win, and we just know when it's time to pull it together. Even though we should be doing that from the start, but like when we know it's time to pull it together, then we know.
It seems like there's a real good camaraderie this year with this group, especially because a lot of you were first-year players last year, kind of stuck with the program through that. There's a lot of sophomores, a lot more leadership this season.
Yeah, I agree. When it came to last year, like you said, we were basically all freshmen. We probably had 2 sophomores. That's it. We didn't really know each other. We didn't really know how we play. So coming into this year, it was different. We know each individual's strengths and weaknesses, and that helps too.
Right. Now you mentioned injury last year kept you out for the rest of the season. You came back obviously to begin this season. You got injured early and missed a couple games. Was there that moment of panic, like, oh no, not again?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I believe the game before I got hurt, I had 15 points, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to see a comeback. The day after, it was like, went to the doctors, you gotta take a break. I'm like, oh my God. That's something that was really bad. But during that time, my team actually really helped me like stay high and positive. And it was like, you're coming back. And I kept listening to them. I stayed locked in for them. So when I was to return, it would be a good return.
Yeah, it was you and Desi that were on the shelf for a little bit there at the same time.
Yeah. We both came back. We both came back strong, ready to play again too.
Right. And you've been coming off the bench, but given good minutes there. I mean, no one necessarily wants to come off the bench, but it feels like when you come in, you can give that kind of energy. Like
I don't really mind coming off the bench. One time, come off the bench, I'm in the game the rest of the game, so I don't really mind coming off the bench. And if I could be that spark for my team that they need off the bench in a time when they're down, I don't mind playing that role.
Right. We're talking to E'ternity Aiken here from Lackawanna College Women's Basketball. E'ternity, you're from Wilkes-Barre originally?
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you go to high school?
Wilkes-Barre area.
Okay, so you were you one of the first combined teams there and everything? So how did that factor into it? For those who don't know, obviously Wilkes-Barre area was a combination of Coughlin, Myers, and GAR, who had been separate for years.
Yeah.
How did you find playing that with a bunch of different people coming together like that?
It felt good. Like, of course, there was like, juniors and seniors that were playing up, but it felt good to play together as one, knowing we were each good. Like, each school had great players, so coming together as one, we just knew we were going to be dominant, and that's what you mean. That's
you guys had a lot of success when you were there, right?
Yeah. 2 years we districts, we won districts. First round of states, we made it to, and then my senior year we came up short. We made it to semifinals.
Right. But you got a chance to play in the arena, right?
It felt good.
How was that? Because sometimes it can be very tough.
I don't know. A lot of people think, because there's like no really like back to the rims or anything, it's like kind of hard. But I liked it. It was good. Knowing everybody was watching, felt good.
It's a cool place to play, right? It's a cool thing. So you came here to Lackawanna. What are you studying here?
Human services. So when I transfer, it's going to be psychology. I'm hoping to double major in criminal justice as well.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So is there a certain field you're trying to get into as far as that's concerned, or are you not sure?
I really
yet?
like criminal justice. I started taking a class here. I really like criminal justice. So maybe psychology, but within the criminal department.
Okay. And
also want to be a coach.
Okay.
That's my passion. I want to coach.
Okay. Was that something you kind of discovered while you were here?
No, I've been knew I wanted to coach. It's just every coach I ever play for, they always see it in me that I could coach, and it's like, I know I could coach.
Do you feel like there's some leadership quality there that you can use?
I have a real good IQ for the course. So.
Okay, very nice, very cool. How did you end up here at Lackawanna? What was it that kind of sold you on coming here?
My coach. She was really consistent, calling a lot. So it was like, I know this is like, she wants me to be here. She sees something in me being here. I wasn't too sure about the JUCO route. I moved school to school a lot, so I wanted to be in like one set school for 4 years.
Sure.
And if I was to do that, I probably would have went to D3, and I knew I wanted to play at a higher level. So coach convinced me, you come here, you play here for a year or two, then I'll get you at the higher level. And I believe in her.
Yeah. And I'm sure it helps that Monica is from Wilkes-Barre and kind of has that connection there as well, and can obviously speak to the program. What was it like when you came into the gym, maybe to see it for the first time, or kind of see the facilities and all that?
I liked the environment. I did. I liked even being here. I like the staff a lot. I really know everybody. If I need help in one department, I know at least one or two people that I could get help from. The gym, I loved the gym. I did. So even the weight room, I like that too. So.
Oh, good. Coach Mike will be happy to hear that. So when you're not studying, you're not hitting the books, when you're not at practice and playing and all that, what's something that you like to do to relax? What's something you do in your free time?
As a student athlete, you don't really get that much.
Yeah, I know, it's tough.
Yeah, but if I'm not doing that, I kind of just like to hang out with my friends, kind of stay to myself sometimes.
Are you listening to music or anything like that?
I'm a big music person.
Okay, all right. Who are you listening to?
My music's kind of all over the place.
That's
I don't have like a set, I kind of like to branch out into different genres. So.
What'd you think of the halftime show last night at the Super Bowl?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I did. There was a big message behind it, so I was,
Yeah, I liked it too. I also liked the Serena
appearance. I did not catch her at first. I had to rewatch it, and I saw on social media. I was like, is that Serena? But yeah, it was good to see her up there.
Doing the crip walk out there, out in the open. It's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. No care. It's okay.
We're talking with E'ternity Aiken here from Lackawanna College women's basketball. So you guys got a couple region games left in the regular season, a couple regular season games left. Already qualified for the playoffs, just depends on seeding and all that, but you're going to be home for the playoffs, at least for the semifinals, obviously. That has to be a big boost for you guys.
Once we saw that it was locked in here, we all knew, like, yeah, it's time to definitely lock in. We want to be playing in our gym, and we want to bring it home in our gym. This is our gym, and nobody's going to take it from us. So
Right. It's going to make for an interesting time, but you got obviously still some games left in the regular season. Is it one game at a time? What's the team mindset?
No, yeah, it's definitely one game at a time. We're looking forward to playing Harcum again. That's our motivation, but right now we're taking it one team at a time to just try to fix what we could fix and make anything else and make any changes we need to before we get ready to play them. So,
where do you think as an analytical mind, someone who can see things on the floor, where do you think Lackawanna is at its best in terms of when you guys are playing well? What are you guys doing? What do you see that you're like, oh man, we're on tonight, or we're really playing well tonight?
When we stay composed as a team, we all play our roles. So we got our shooters shooting. As long as they stay composed and they know what they're doing, we got that. We got Salote inside, making easy baskets, rebounding defense. Everybody just plays their roles. So as long as we do that and we know what we came here to do, I really have a strong feeling about us winning.
Right. Well, again, it helps to be home, and you guys are really starting. It feels like you guys are starting to really put it together in terms of how you guys have been playing, and especially in these victories you guys have been picking up. So we'll see. We got a couple games left, right?
Can't wait. Let's
get back to it. You guys are coming up on Saturday against Salem, and then we move from there.
Yeah. I'm excited. On a road to
Is it weird to think about the season coming to its close or coming towards the end?
Yeah, every time I think about it, it's like, we just started. Like, it's already the end. But I just know as long as we stay focused and we stay really, like, goal-oriented, then getting what we want, which is a ring, of course, I can see that in our future.
All right. Well, hopefully you're Nostradamus, or you're some kind of, you have that foresight here that we got that coming for us. E'ternity, appreciate your time. Congratulations on winning Athlete of the Week.
Thank you, it meant a lot.
Thank you for joining us here on Falcons Corner. We'll be back with more. She's E'ternity Aiken from Lackawanna College women's basketball. I'm Tom Ferguson. This is Falcons Corner. Take flight.
All right, we are back in the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, we got to know SID.
We're here.
Did
you have a basketball game this past weekend?
We did not. We were off this weekend.
Bye week?
I don't know if it was like Super Bowl related or what, but we
you don't keep score, so it doesn't count anyway.
It does count. It matters.
All right. I know. I was the one that was preaching. You guys got to keep. Listen, you're the SID. Just get a book, and while you're coaching, just keep score.
I would shudder to think of what our shooting percentage is right now.
You just count the ones that go in. Don't worry about anything else.
And you could cheat like we do when we play the staff versus.
We don't cheat.
That's true.
We could change. You could change the rules.
Our shots are worth
different.
3 points.
Yes.
Their shots are worth minus points.
Yes. Exactly. Perfect.
Guaranteed win.
Yes. All right. So spring sports kicked off crazy enough on February, whatever date we're on. This past weekend, as baseball traveled south to Virginia Beach, Bryan and Stratton won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, wasn't the best weather for baseball.
But it's February.
A little cold down there.
But they played.
I got all 3 games in.
I thought there was no way they were getting them in.
And they were impressive too.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple dudes homered, right?
Yeah, put 14 runs up in the first game, and then 13 runs in the first game of 2 on Sunday, and then had a chance to win, but ended up plunking a guy with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th.
Is that how they lost?
To give it up there. But I think if you told Coach McCary he was going to take 2 or 3 to start,
why not?
He'd be all about it. But
and playing.
But Tyler LePage hit 2 home runs. Louis Kegaris, I think, may have had a solo home run. Also,
I think Louis did homer. Yeah.
Also had a couple RBI hits. Yeah. Deacon Brown was 7 of 11. Nick Mattson had a bases clearing 3-run double. So the bats were alive. That's for sure.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I mean, just I can't emphasize enough being able to not only just play, but getting all 3 games. And when I was looking at their weather with all the rain they were due to get this weekend, and my best friend lives in Virginia Beach, and just being in, reaching out to him, he's like, well, but it's not nice for them, but it was beautiful weather for us.
Great for us, yeah. I'm sure they're still thankful that they're getting games in February too.
Yeah, especially. I mean, they're back at it this weekend. I think they're going to Brunswick, and last I looked, they're number 1 in the country.
Number 1 in the stepping up pretty fast down in.
Yeah, because I think they finished 2 last year. I know when I went to see them play down at Brunswick, they were pretty good.
Yeah,
but they were traveling quite a ways for a weekend.
Yeah, is it Supley, North Carolina? Is that what it's called?
It's near Myrtle. Like I think it was like a 20-minute drive from Myrtle Beach. So they're in really south North Carolina.
But playing Brunswick and USC Sumter.
Right.
Will be a part of, I think, a doubleheader on Saturday, and then I think they play Sumter again. Or I'm sorry, they play Brunswick. It might be another doubleheader. It might just be Brunswick on Sunday.
I think it's just a single on Sunday.
And I think they play. I know they played Sumter last year also when they were to kick off their spring break.
Yeah, that was when they were down at Flodar.
Yes.
Hopefully the weather holds out for that.
Yeah, because that's a nice ballpark down at Brunswick. Because they're at Brunswick.
Nice facility too.
Yeah, nice facility and stuff too. So they did charge me $10 to watch the game from a bleacher, but other than that, it was great.
Maybe they just charged.
That's how they could have a nice stadium.
Yes, they charged the visiting team, and I said I'm contributing for the live stream so my parents could watch back at home. So that was that and stuff too.
But yeah, good start to the year, and like we said, stepping up competition immediately, taking on the number 1 team in the nation. So
yes, and then if for some reason if they drive a little fast, the Cotton Law Firm. In the beautiful state of North Carolina to help out all of your driving, speeding needs.
Right. That's funny. And then softball, not this weekend, but next weekend. They have their media day coming up this week, right?
Yeah. We'll be getting pictures and stuff and interviewing softball this week, and then next week, they're down at Richard Bland College.
Yep.
Playing a couple games down there.
They are. Hopefully, media day goes better for Ferg this time than it did last time.
I have high hopes.
Yes. Well, fingers crossed. He was just nervous because I wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
That's all.
Got all thrown
I was editing the pictures for baseball because that's what I was doing when this all went down on Monday, and I was trying to remember where it happened, where I had the realization that I gotta go.
So that kid's like has a big X on him.
I gotta leave.
Yeah.
There were 2 kids I don't remember getting their pictures for.
Well, hey, it happens.
So
it happens, and then the media boss filled in, and then you knocked him out for a little while too. So good for you.
Guess what? I got sick, and Colin Cowherd got sick the same exact way while he was doing his job that same day. So I feel much better about this.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right.
See, it happens to us all.
It does. Beautiful. All right. Again, a terrific show.
I thought so.
It was a good comeback.
Great comeback.
Yep.
It's comeback story of the year.
It is.
We needed it.
It is.
We might get another award for comeback story of the year.
I think so.
Comeback episode of the year.
Yep.
All right, good.
Next week.
Next week, Falcons Corner.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a nice tan.
You are.
Yes.
You are. My bald spot will still be even whiter.
Maybe
than
I'll do the
now.
show in my bathing suit too, in my flip flops.
Nice.
Yeah. Sure.
Little zinc on the
Good
nose.
thing you'll be here. We'll have to delay filming until Tuesday.
Yes.
Oh,
well,
that's true.
we're off Monday anyway,
We
so
are.
we have to delay until Tuesday anyway.
We are.
So. All right. So we'll see everyone next week anyway.
All right.
All right. Have a good week. Take flight.